Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Gore Clown Shop.
Do you love all things horror? Books? Movies? Podcasts? Of course you do. Well, come on down to goreclown.com.
Original artwork by an indie horror fan for indie horror fans.
Use code SLEEPOVER at checkout to save 15% on your whole purchase.
Oh, and did we mention? Gore Clown is the only place to get official Spoiler Sleepover merch.
So don't forget to use Sleepover to save 15%.
Stay indie, suckers!
Welcome, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends to Spoiler Sleepover, Season 3, the Season of Suffering. Suffer along with your co-hosts Jason, Michael, and Rob as they watch and review some of the worst films to ever hit the screen. Now, enjoy the show. It'll be a real scream of a time.
Way to rip.
Fat line of cocaine for this movie.
Yep, way to rip off another movie. Welcome, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends. Back to the Werewolves of Summer. I am Rob.
I'm Jason Michael.
And we don't have any openers because currently, as you're listening to this, Jason Michael is deceased. I'm just kidding. He's at camp, so he's not actually here. He's gone.
Voice from beyond.
Today we're talking about 2024's Werewolves. And as I had said last episode,
Fat line of coke.
Yeah, I was really wanting to see this in theaters, and I was a little bummed out I didn't. And now that I've seen it not in theaters, I'm kind of glad I didn't waste my money to see it in theaters.
Honestly, forgot that it went to theaters. I don't think this should have had a theatrical run.
What blows my mind is the first production company we see opening this thing up. I saw Universal, and I was like, "Oh shit! All right." We're in for a good movie, and then 20 other production companies fucking popped up on the screen that were all made in fucking Photoshop, and I was like, maybe not. How did Universal get attached to this thing?
It's that Family Guy bit of all the opening like production companies that you think it's actually the movie, but it's just a very cinematic thing. It's like, oh, here we go, Guy in the Rain. Oh no, just another movie company.
Yeah, except none of these movie company titles were misleading. They just looked like they were done in like fucking Photoshop or like slideshow. It was terrible. But yeah, dude, this movie just starts. Yeah.
And it just ends too.
Fucking yeah, it does. It's just like, here's my hand.
It just sets it up, and it's very, super blood moon, blah, 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 year ago, and setting up. And at first, I thought I was having a stroke and my brain was falling apart. Like, there was some weird dubbing with the guy in the very beginning. Yep. And I was like, am I just not seeing his lip because of his mustache? And then it happens several other times in this movie where the sound design is just wonky. There's a werewolf howl that gets cut off in the very beginning.
There's also that guy trying to usher everybody out of the building and his mouth isn't moving. And he's like, this way,
yep,
this way.
That happens a few times.
This way. And I was like,
that happens so many times.
You're not talking.
It's no. But what we've learned is there's a super blood moon and it infects people. And that's basically how you get turned into a werewolf. You don't necessarily have to be bit or scratched. It is the moon. If the moon touches your skin in any way, shape, and or form, which is kind of cool and also fucking terrifying.
What blows my mind.
But it looks...
and is super confusing about this movie too is that it starts and it says last year this happened, and this is a year later that it's happening again. And then the way the movie ends, it's like, all right, now there's gonna be a third movie, because this feels like the way it starts, it feels like we're being led in from a movie previously. This is the only movie as far as I could find. I did some digging and I was like, was there a movie before this? Nope. I just feel like, I mean, if they were supposed to do, if there was a first movie, it would be called something like Supermoon. Call it fucking Supermoon. Move on. But yeah, I searched. I didn't find shit.
We found this movie.
Which
That's the kind of shit that we found.
that's wild too, because we said, all right, we're going to get away from the suffering and we're going to move on with the Werewolves of Summer before we send Jason Michael off. And here we are back at the season of suffering unintentionally.
Necessarily, I don't think it's horrible of a movie. Like, I mean, when eventually, first off, they think they've discovered a cure to this whole supermoon, and they call it fucking moonscreen.
Which is
Moonscreen?
Dude, I laughed out loud. I was like, that is wild and hilarious. Yeah, Moonscreen.
I like the guy who goes, I don't like that fucking name. It's like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, the writer probably didn't
Again,
like the name.
Who did a line of coke and was just like, no, we need to have something to stop the super blood moon from turning people into werewolves. What do we got? It's like sunscreen, but for the moon. Moonscreen. Fucking call it. Write it down.
Yeah.
And have Frank Grillo be shirtless. Dude,
TM.
motherfucker's
Yeah,
jacked from the get-go, and then he spends the rest of the movie covered up, and then at the very end, it's just like gratuitous shirtless scene. They lingered on him for way too long, but also, good for you, Frank. Good for you.
I just like the fact that also when this movie starts, we get the backstory very quickly, and then it just jumps into him like setting up his dead brother's wife and daughter's house for protection purposes, and then we get another shot of another hunky old man. My note literally just says, movie starts, hunky old men. Like, there's just two of them. Just jacked to fucking shit, doing manly things, all old and fucking muscular, and making me feel all self-conscious about myself. I was like, God damn it. Those dudes are like a swift fart from the grave, and I look like boiled over shit. The fuck is going on right now?
Was it what the fuck's his name? Cody, the wolf killer guy? The real gung-ho dude just shooting shit directly at their house. This is another one of those moments where he goes over and he's just screaming. I was like, who's screaming right now? Yeah. And then it goes over, you see a profile of Frank's face, and it shouts Cody, but his mouth doesn't move. And he's like, hey, man, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, so I wasn't having a stroke a few minutes ago.
No.
This truly is an out-of-order movie. Again, they cut off a wolf howl soon. It's weird, like, people volunteering for it, and then, like, one guy is a fucking maniac and cackling like a son of a bitch.
Two of them are. There's two of them that are just insane for no fucking reason.
One's Joker laughing, the other one's kind of sitting there seething back and forth like Yeah. The other one is like straight up, he's staring practically at the camera and laughing like, is this good? No, it's not good, but we'll use it.
Yeah. And then there's the woman who's terrified, and I'm not entirely sure she was willingly there, which is questioned as well. And it's like, no, she signed up. And it's like, did she though? Because the way you looked after you said that. I mean, I have in my notes here, like, so I was writing like bullet points. Really, the main focus is just the main character. Like, it sets it up to be like, oh, there's going to be this big story with his brother being dead. We're going to get a backstory, which we don't. And him like trying to protect his sister-in-law and niece, and kind of, but not really until the end of the movie. Like we keep cutting back to them so that we don't forget. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what the editor was like, oh yeah, shit, there's two other characters. We should probably put a shot of them, I don't know, tickling each other or doing fucking nothing.
I mean, at the same point, he is kind of protecting them because we're seeing all the shit he set up, like the capsaicin spray that blinds the werewolf.
Which is dope.
First off, yeah, the kill that we get, which is brutal, and then after the fact, which is even more brutal, fucking when he's on the phone with her and he's like, don't answer the door for whatever. And then who's Reagan? Who the fuck is this random character that shows up?
Yeah.
Was she mentioned?
Yeah. Well, she showed up in the beginning of the movie. She brought like baked goods or cookies or something like that for them. And then the mother gave her batteries and pepper spray. It was like, just in case, keep your phone charged.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I must have been just distracted by Frank Grillo's rippling biceps.
My main note that I have here is, I think I was maybe 20 minutes into the movie and I was just like, this feels really familiar. And then it clicked and I was like, oh, this is The Purge, but with werewolves.
Yep. And he was in Purge election year, I think.
He sure was. Yeah. And election year is the one that angers me to no end, because boy, howdy, did that come out. Shit timing, man. All of that was real reality, and we're living it again.
Werewolves.
But yeah, so it's The Purge with werewolves that break out like a zombie outbreak. somebody, yeah, again, lines of coke. You nail on head. You
Yep.
got that so fucking right. I mean, so next week we're going to be talking about another werewolf, our final werewolf movie of the Werewolves of Summer, and it is, in my opinion, the best werewolf movie ever, and one of the coolest werewolf designs ever. And this movie tried its damnedest to rip that off, and
they are pretty similar looking.
Kind of pissed me off a bit. I'm going to be completely honest, just because of we're all these years later. I'm glad that the suits were practical, but the jaw work was shit. It was just like cardboard flopping around when they were opening and closing their mouths. But we got a back-to-back on transformations looking like absolute shit. I'm glad they didn't show too much.
Yeah.
But it still didn't look good.
They looked like lizards.
Yeah.
There's like, again, when they go into the bodega later, straight up, that was a Grinch kid. The kid looked like the motherfucking Grinch.
Dude, I have the same fucking note. I was just like, the kid looks like a fucking fucked up Dr. Seuss character.
Seriously. There's moments in this movie where you're just sitting there going, what the fuck? What is this writing? What is any of this? And then there's moments in the movie where you go, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there are decent werewolf kills. There are decent moments where you're looking and going, oh shit. Like when he fucking takes Reagan and just drags her along the electric fence. It's awesome.
Dude, before that, when he rips her back skin off and you could see her spine and her ribs.
Yep.
And then when another wolf bites that dude's face off and you see it.
Oh my
God. I was
God.
like, this is awesome. And it's so like B quality too. Like I got moments of laughter. I think the best moment was once the movie was over, I thought about it again. I was like, all right, that was kind of cool. But when it happened, I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Come on, man. Was when the punk wolf showed up.
Yep.
Just straight up mohawk and shit. I was like, why? This is fucking stupid. And then
you need different types of wolves. You can't just sit there staring at all of them like, all right, it's the same wolf. It's the same wolf. You got to have something to differentiate them. That's why there's one that said wolf killer. Yeah.
And you, as the movie progressed, I feel like the director at some point was just like, wait a second, all of these fucking things look the same. We need to differentiate it somehow. So we got one like in a battle vest. We've got one that's wearing like jorts. We've got another one that looks like a punk. We've got, they're all like wearing different things, which is, I think is cool. The only, this is going to bold statement. The only thing that confused me in this movie, the only moment I was just like, for why is this currently happening? And it was the moment that made me go, oh, this is the Purge. Homeboy and the doctor got away and they're like quietly sneaking through the streets. There are just two werewolves beating the shit out of a car.
Yep.
And then they
fuck that Toyota.
They do it to another one too. When two more wolves show up and they just beat up another car, I'm like, what do wolves have against fucking automobiles in this movie? But it was the only moment in this entire movie where I was just like, the fuck, why is this part of it? Like, is there somebody in there they're trying to get to? No. And that was the moment. I was just like, oh, this is the Purge with werewolves. That's all this movie is. It's just the Purge with werewolves.
It really is. It was set from the beginning of just, all right, let's all hunker down. I got guns. You got guns. Kill everything that moves. But at the same point, it immediately proves bullshit. And you are the first people to go. But of course, Frank Grillo is here to maintain some type of just brooding type of hunky stereotype to save the day. I swear, that's all Frank Grillo does now. He's done his Marvel movies, but now he's just like, I've seen so many movies like this that are like destined for Frank Grillo. And again, Purge and Werewolves are pretty damn similar.
They are, they're so much the same movie. It's not even funny. Like, it's just, I don't know. I really like, I mean, we I think since day one on this podcast, we have talked about how we prefer practical over CGI. CGI is used to enhance, not to replace. Definitely beat that into the ground with last week's episode. And this movie, minus the transformations in the beginning that were, thank God, short and cut off very quickly, the practical in this is fucking fantastic. We only have one moment where I'm like, you didn't need to CGI this werewolf running. Other than that, everything was practical. It looked good. I'm here for it. I like...
And we just get werewolves smashing through shit.
Yeah. Dude, the Frank Grillo's... All right, so at the end of the movie, Frank Grillo fucking turns into a werewolf himself. Dude, he can't break through planks of wood, but punches through a brick wall. Like...
Yeah.
Dude, that moment I was just like, huh?
He needed to show that he was just so fucking strong because he just ripped off Cody's head shortly before that.
So badass. Dude, that fight was so short. I was just like, oh, this is going to be brutal.
Yeah. It was very one-sided too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, out of all the werewolf fights that we have seen over the past couple of episodes, that was the shortest and the easiest and most brutal final kill.
Yeah.
Of Werewolf v. Werewolf.
And I had the note too that I was like, all right, so he went out there to intentionally become a werewolf to protect his family and then did so.
Exposed a little chest to get exposed to the moonlight.
And then he turns on his family.
Yeah, immediately.
I was like, dude, what? Huh? Like, why?
She's also very, very lucky that the sun was coming in from that side of the house. If she shot the wrong fucking window and it was still nighttime on that, it's like, ooh.
Oopsie daisies. Yeah.
The one shell I found. Ooh.
When they go to the market, that was... They walk into this market. They get like... They're trying to get away from the werewolves, and there's a flashlight flashing at them. They're like, over there, and they slide in, of course, as a gate is shutting, and they make it just in the nick of time. And then there's a little kid. He's like, this way. And then it turns into a steampunk movie for fucking 1.3 seconds. And I was like, oh, this is going to be dope.
The fucking one that comes up behind Dr. Chen with the sword, he's wearing like straight up eye party goggles and mask.
Yeah.
They are the plastic like spiked ones that you just go, I mean, I don't want to wear that, but it looks cool.
It's so ridiculous.
You can tell it's very low budget, but they had all their budget in the werewolves.
Yeah.
And it's just, honestly, I was expecting it to be such a problem. Then he's like, no, I'll take you there. But then you're on your own.
Yeah.
Cool, thanks, man. And that's it.
Yeah, and that's
done.
That line is pointless, in my opinion, because they said, hey, we just want to go to the tunnels. Not, hey, can you go with us to the tunnels? Hey, he knows they're there. We just want to go through the tunnels.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take you there. But that's where we end. That's where it stops. Like, yeah, no shit.
Cool, man. I don't know you.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck. We're just trying to pass through. Your kid let us in. Maybe talk to that fucking child before you fucking pull a samurai sword on me. Like, it's not our fault. They have like all these people caged up in there too. So it's
weird. It's real weird. And it's for one night. Again, it's like the Purge. They're purging by keeping people in fucking cages. What is the point of them being in there?
No clue. Unless, so again, for the listener currently, if you have not seen this movie, we get that there's a we were given the information that there's a supermoon and people turn into werewolves. Full fucking stop. We are not given any other information like, hey, there are people out there that want to become werewolves, and so they go out so that they can purge. But literally, like, we don't get that. So you're left to either draw a conclusion or just not think about it and be like, cool, werewolves, which is partially what I did for a while until we hit the market, which is even funnier because she goes, what is this place? And he's like, it's a market, you dumb bitch. He didn't say you dumb bitch, but like, you live in the city. How do you not fucking know that there's a market? But my thought process on that was these must be like friends and family of these steampunk fuckers. And the friends and family want to become werewolves. Like, they want to go out and they want to wolf purge. And they're like, no. We're not letting that happen because you could die or you'll kill somebody. Who knows? Maybe you'll zombie Hulk. I don't know if you ever read Marvel Zombies.
Zulk?
Have you read the Marvel Zombies comic books?
I haven't read it.
Must read. I'm going to say the first wave is a must read. They kept them going. They're not worth it after a while. But in the first wave of the Marvel zombie comics, the Hulk becomes a zombie and he eats Tony Stark. Bruce Banner becomes the Hulk, a zombie version of the Hulk, when he's not angry, when he's hungry. And so he eats Tony Stark and he's no longer hungry. So he reverts back to Bruce Banner, but he's just eaten Tony whole. So when he goes back, Tony's bones like rip through Bruce Banner's body, and so there's
brutal, dude.
Yeah, there's like bones sticking out of his stomach, and he's all like deformed and shit. And that's what makes me think about like,
fuck yeah.
I wonder if this is what would happen to some of these wolves. Like it's one evening they eat a person and then they revert back to human form. If those bones are still in there, they're just going to rip through them. And so maybe these steampunk people are just trying to save their family from being boned from the inside out.
Oh, that would be fucking sick, dude.
That also sounded wrong, but you got you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Well, I am. And it's like at the same point, like that can't be comfortable. Several people, we've already seen them kind of just sit there going, while getting transformed into a werewolf. It's like, why would you want to do that? Like, I don't give a shit. Like, fuck that, man.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way this is a good idea.
There's never, I mean, for the most part, there aren't very many werewolf movies where the transformations look comfortable. They always look like they're in pain. I mean, your whole entire body is reforming itself. Bones, skin, everything. It looks like a painful process. So it'd be weird and interesting to see a werewolf where the transformation is not painful, where it's like welcomed.
Yeah, I mean, there's one that kind of comes to mind, but also at the same point, like you see it happen so many times, but also it's the one I can never get past of like, it's Van Helsing when at the end Hugh Jackman turns into a werewolf, and then like his skin starts like sliding off, but it's all CG, but like his skin is sliding off, and the only thing I could think of is he's like wearing a person's suit with a fucking furry werewolf underneath, and then all the hair falls off and he's then back to Hugh Jackman, but then he does it again. Yeah. It's like, how many layers do you have?
There's a few different movies where that's the werewolf transformation, is they rip the skin off and the wolf is underneath, and it always confuses me because I'm like, it's a cool effect, it looks brutal as shit, but like, how do you get
they go back at the end of the night, oh fuck, all right, can I put this shit back on?
Do you rip the wolf skin off? Could you imagine if like the whole like wolf everything, like you reform underneath the wolf skin, so you just have like an entire wolf skull and you have to like pull that shit off,
just hanging out?
That'd be a really cool movie.
God damn, I'm just imagining how uncomfortable transforming back in that mindset, transforming back from American Werewolf in London would have been. Just all right, go right back in through the mouth and nails retract. All right,
and we're good.
God damn,
re-snap those third ankles and shit.
Oh fuck. Just screaming internally. There is something in this movie that I wrote several times while watching it, and it makes no sense to me. While they are driving, Frank and Dr. Chen, they're driving, and they're on the phone with the aunt again while she's like, all right, I won't do anything. I won't let anybody in. Oh my God, somebody's at the front door. I'm going to go let her in. No, don't fucking do that. And then a bus just rolls up out of nowhere. Where the fuck did this bus come from? Because it was there to crash their car.
Probably.
Again, with the weird mix of audio. And then they just crash the car.
Into.
And that's it.
Into. Yeah. Like, it's not like it doesn't hit the side of the bus. It goes all the way fucking into the bus, which I was like,
yes.
I thought I liked that moment. I thought it was fucking dope because I was like, they just demolished that fucking bus. But
I mean, yeah, but where did it come from?
We don't see a driver, so I'm led to believe that the wolves did it on purpose.
The werewolves are just like 3, 2, 1, now push.
I mean, I don't even think there needs to be more than one. Those things are pretty fucking strong, punching through walls and shit.
Practical joke werewolves.
I mean,
yeah, but apparently Frank Grillo cannot break the boards. But
if we're going by purge rules, I mean, that would make sense. They're out hunting. They see two people who haven't been transformed.
I mean, they are quite smart werewolves. Like, disabling the cameras and like knocking down the pole.
Yeah, there's still some form of humanity in there, which is crazy to me because they respond and they like plan things and they work together as a team. Like
that wolf shadow shot down the street was badass.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. There's a lot of really cool shots. The practical, again, is fucking awesome. The movie is just, it's on fast forward. It's disjointed. We're given no information other than blood moon makes people werewolf for one night. And it's just, I would have preferred a little more information, a little more focus a little less on we've got to get from point A to point B, because a lot of that shit was kind of fucking pointless.
Yeah.
When Frank stabs a werewolf in the tunnels with the pole and homegirl's just standing over there with a gun and doesn't shoot the wolf in the fucking head. I'm like, dude, we've got a moment here for a fucking face explosion and it's not there. So maybe the budget was, we have enough for 5 wolf suits. We cannot destroy any of them. And
he's just stabbing the wolf and then he just shrugs it off to the side and then it immediately dies. It doesn't like,
no,
it's just done. Oh, cool. All right. Wolf dead. Got it.
Yeah. And I mean, they do in the beginning with the test for the moon block, they do allude to the fact that, like, you know, silver, it's not this kind of werewolf. The silver doesn't fucking work. It's, you know, it's not your movie werewolf, which is
not your grandfather's werewolf.
Great. And I get it. And I'm okay with it. But at the same time, we've watched throughout the movie, we watched multiple wolves get fucking littered with bullets and they're fine. But a pole through the chest does it. Like, I don't know.
There's many minigun bullets. Like, they roll up on a fucking militia of just people going wolf hunting.
Yeah.
And they have a fucking minigun. And it's not doing a goddamn thing. Like,
I love the noise that thing makes, though.
Does. It's really, really powerful. But it does fuck all to the wolves. But my favorite part, besides the fucking bus of where did the bus come from, is Dr. Chen. Frank's in the truck ready to go. And then Dr. Chen just goes and gets grabbed. And then whoop, gone.
See you later.
Taken to the fucking heavens.
Yeah. Those dudes are...
There's no werewolf on the truck. There's no, like, watch the werewolf bounce away. It's just, oh, yeah, we're going to get out of here kind of smile. Werewolf hand. Thank you.
Yeah. It's that scene.
And then she's just gone.
Yeah, and I wrote notes specifically for that scene. So those guys with the guns they have a sign on the side of their truck that says street dogs. So they're called the street dogs.
Oh, I missed that.
Yep. Which pissed me off as well. Stay tuned for next week why. And then that's when the punk wolf shows up. Afterthought winner. I didn't like it at first, and after the movie was over, I was like, okay, I kind of dig it. But then they're trying to. Frank wants to get to the fucking truck, to get to the gun, to shoot the fucking wolves, and she's like, "I'll distract them." And I quote, she says, I wrote it down, "I have a theory." She walks out there and screams into a wolf's face.
What were you planning on accomplishing here, hon? What are you doing?
The fucking theory.
I love how the wolf's just like,
I can do that.
Okay,
too. Yeah, it's great.
My turn.
Yeah, werewolves back at him, and then the gun opens up fire. Like, dude, what was the fucking theory? What was the point? Like, there's so many moments like that throughout this movie that just drove me nuts, because I was like, there's clearly more lore that was written and wanted for this, I'm assuming, because it keeps going towards the direction that it feels like we're supposed to be given more information, but we're not. And it just goes another direction.
Line of coke.
And it's driving me nuts too, especially when she fucking just gets head yeeted away. I'm like, dude, what the fuck was the goddamn theory? Screaming at wolves?
We'll never fucking screams with wolves. Dude, she was there. She was helpful to a certain extent. Like, obviously when the Grinch kid, and we're sitting there going, is he going to shoot a werewolf kid in the face? Honestly, there were several parts of this movie where I'm sitting there going, does it make sense? I'm lost in the whole moon thing. Honestly, didn't know they could change back. Like, once the night's over, didn't know they could change back. So I thought it was like, what? Just because it's a kid, you're going to let it go kill someone else? Instead of blowing its fucking brains out. It makes sense now.
It was eating a cat. So I don't think it was much of a harm to other people. But it also makes me go, all right, so only, like, quote unquote adults can go full wolf? Like, children who are exposed only partially change? Like,
Grinch wolf.
Did she only pop her head out the window and that was for a split second and this is what the outcome was? Like, what is it? I don't know.
If that was the logic, then Frank should have a sexy Austin Powers man bush by the end of this movie when he just goes, look at my upper chest.
Also, I want to point something out that fucking drove me nuts. When the movie starts, we're introduced to the main doctor chick and her husband, boyfriend, partner, whatever he is, who had turned last year. That was alluded to. He had turned the previous year, and that's why he said, I'm volunteering for this because it's already happened. And then points to a portion of his scars, which made me go, that's fucking sick. So they transform into wolves, but when they go back, the stretch marks and scars still exist from the transformation. I was like, I kind of dig that. Because there's also the moment where right before that, where Frank's driving through the city and you see another person who has those scars. And I'm like, yo.
I was wondering what the fucking point was. Oh, that makes so much sense now. That's cool. Okay, here for it.
That big issue. Fucking Frank turns back to a human at the end of the movie. What doesn't he have? Fucking scars.
A shirt.
Well, yeah. And also pants that are fitting him skin tight. I don't know how they are still fitting him after being a wolf. But
it's Hulk pant logic. We're never going to fucking know. They're always going to be like, it's super stretchy waistband from Hanes. Nobody cares.
It was super
the man's got no shirt and he looks good, damn it.
But
I have 2 notes of just Frank shredded. Fuck, Frank shredded. Yeah. Go on.
But he doesn't have scars. So I think it would have, at least for me, I feel like it would have been, full circle, cool. Now he is marked with the quote unquote sign of the wolf, mark of the wolf, whatever you want to call it. But no, here's a low angle with beautiful lighting. Look at this ripply wet man in his skin tight jeans.
It's there are parts of this movie that are really good. And then it just goes, is like Frank an executive producer or something where he's like, I have one condition. I gotta be shirtless. I gotta show up that Chris Evans for punching me in the face in that Captain America movie. No, Frank. No. Are you the one who's doing the coke? Are you the we need a fucking Purge movie with werewolves and I want in?
Maybe. It is possible.
I will say it. There are moments where I look at Frank in some of his movies and just go, why? But this is one of the ones where I sit there and go, you know what? I like Frank Grillo as an actor. He's an enjoyable, action star to watch for me.
Surprisingly enough, he was not a producer.
Really? He was the executive director.
There are a fuck ton of producers on this movie, though, which is wild to me. Now, there was only one director and one writer. Stephen C. Miller directed the movie. He's done quite a few. He did the 2012 Silent Night movie, which was okay. We had a serial killer who wears a Santa Claus mask and wields a fucking flamethrower the entire movie. It's not bad. He also did Margot, about the fucking smart house that ends up killing people in the house, which was not good. But he's also done...
Wasn't that the movie that just came out? Or was that Afraid?
That was Afraid, yeah. Margot came out in 2022. I mean, it's still new. But fucking smart houses killing people is just being beaten into the ground. Evil AI, baby. It makes money. Mm-hmm. People fucking want to watch that shit. But he's done a majority of these straight to DVD, straight to streaming action movies. He did Martyrs that had Bruce Willis in it.
Ooh.
He directed that one.
Oh, so not the good one.
No. He did First Kill. He did Escape Plan 2. Not the first one. So, I mean, is
that the one with Stallone?
Yep. Yeah, so he's done a few things. The writer was Matthew Kennedy, who has, from what I can see, he's done 4 movies and an independent short movie called 15 Minutes with Jacob. This is an interview with a quote-unquote serial killer. I mean, he's a newer writer, so benefit of the doubt. He first feature-length film that got theatrical play and Universal as a production company behind it. He can only go up from here, hopefully. I'm down for... There have been a lot of writers and directors in the past who have done indie, low-budget, not-so-great movies that are, okay, but not great, who have come back and redone their movies to, make them better. The one that I keep thinking about is... what is it? Night Shift, right? Is that the name of the movie? It's Night Shift. And then it was remade as Malum, but it was written and directed by the same person. But the writer and director got a chance to redo their movie, and they redid it and just named it Malum, which is the name of the demon in the movie. And the remake was fucking great. I mean, the original was okay. wasn't fantastic, but the remake was brutal. They had a fucking high ass budget, so they just went for it. But I mean, there's potential for more info. There's potential for more character building. There's potential for better audio, better dubbing, like everything.
Some better acting.
And I mean, if we get a second one, if we get a chance at seeing this done better, for the love of fuck, keep it practical. Just bring back the same suits. Mm-hmm. None of us are going to be mad. We're going to love seeing those fucking wolves again. We just need more information. We need a better worked out plot. We need a little bit more understanding of what the wolves are doing. Now, benefit of the doubt on this one. I feel like I've said benefit of the doubt like 30 times now. But this is the second year of this blood moon. According to the movie, this is the second year. So maybe they don't have the information. I mean, they've worked pretty...
I just wish it looked different instead of just a regular full moon.
Right?
It's like the canopy opened and it was just like, oh, it's just a full moon, guys. We have nothing to worry about. I was expecting it to be like blood red. Yeah.
I wanted give me some fucking Twilight action. Make it sparkly. Like, I know that sounds fucking lame, but like, think about it if it was red and there were like these like beams coming down from it. Like, it's a super fucking blood moon, not a full moon.
It's like the rapture.
Yeah. Make it look fucked. Make it look scary. It didn't look scary. And
no, it was just a beautiful night sky.
Literally. Just imagine that. You're like, what a beautiful, I'm a fucking werewolf.
How do you think that first night went when they're like, look at this beautiful, just
the fucking
wonderful date night with the top back on the Cadillac and just, wonderful.
Backyard barbecue went south real quick.
How do you think they were like, it's the moon that's doing it? It's just, oh my God, everyone's turning into werewolves, fucking run. And now, oh my God, we're all turning into werewolves. Who was the person that was like, hey, I'm inside, I'm safe? Instead of just going, what the fuck just happened?
See, so much information that we don't have. Like,
we need a werewolves prequel.
I'm down for it. I'm down for...
with another shirtless Frank Grillo.
And dude, straight up, just call it Blood Moon. Or call it Super Blood Moon, or whatever you want to
Super Blood Moon.
Call it Super Blood Moon.
I will say that's making it sound very Season of Suffering as a title right
that's
there.
Fair.
Super Blood Moon.
Then call it Werewolves Year One. Go in reverse.
Ooh.
Werewolves Year One. Give us all of that. Give us Grillo. Give us, again, bring him back with his living brother, who apparently from the one photo we see is a police officer. Like, just show us.
I think he was a firefighter. There's a fire axe.
Oh, all right. Oh, and there was a fire axe as well at one point too. And it's in my notes. It says, sister-in-law said, "May I ask you a question?"
And that, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends, was Werewolves from 2024, a spew about this movie we were hopeful for, but at the end of the day, I don't really think that there's a person that is worthy of a bloody legend. I think it's just got to go to the actual werewolves themselves.
Yeah, whoever designed the werewolf suits, kudos. I mean, I see you. Mm-hmm. I know what you did. I don't like you for it, but good work.
Fucker.
You fucking hack artist. But no, the wolves are great. Let's just go real with this. Let's give it to the number one most loved / hated wolf in this movie. Let's give it to Punk Wolf. There you go, Punk Wolf. You get your time. It's the dumbest fucking thing. I love it though.
Then in this case, Rob.
Yes.
Out of 10 Super Blood Moons, how many Super Blood Moons would you give Werewolves from 2024?
I'm going to straight up, without even beating around the bush, 6. And I'm giving it 6 because the practical was good. The violence was awesome. The gore was like that perfect, like trauma, beautifully corny style where I love that sort of thing. And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to watch it again. Because I feel like I didn't give it a fair shake just because of the way that the movie starts. Because it just fucking starts stupid and corny. And so I was already judging it. And I was 30 minutes in when I went, this is the fucking purge with werewolves. And I was still judging it. And I think I need to give this a fair shake. Knowing what I know, knowing that I've seen it already, and what's going to come. I need to just shut up, sit down, watch it, and be like, fucking giant werewolves. And still question why they hate cars. But yeah. What would you give Werewolves from 2024 on a scale of 1 to 10?
In a similar vein, I would give it a 7, because while there were moments where I looked at it and went, ooh, that was shoddy editing, ooh, that was not great acting, it was still a fun movie, personally. I enjoyed this movie. There were moments where I'm sitting there going, all right, yeah, come on, fucking speed it up here, Frank. But, like, I enjoyed the practical werewolves, looking at them and just going, oh, fuck, yeah. The electrocuting the body on the fence, being like, fuck, this thing's still on. The werewolf gets sprayed with pepper spray and goes to a fountain. It's like, fuck, get it out of my eyes. Dude, this is a fun movie with werewolves. It's you're spot on. It's Purge, but with werewolves, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. And even at the moments where I'm sitting there staring at the bicep vein on Frank because they literally shoved the camera at his arm, it's like, yes, I'm jealous. Continue, but can we move on to like the next part of this movie? Oh, okay, he's back. Yeah, the fucking ending is just werewolf, light, Frank. It's like, cool, man.
And then he reaches his hand down.
Way to make the rest of us feel inadequate.
Yeah, he just reaches his hand down to pick up his sister-in-law, and then it just cuts to fucking credits. And I was like, dude, what the fuck?
It's just done.
I fast forwarded. I was like, there's got to be more. There's nothing. Don't waste your time fast forwarding through the credits. I mean, read the credits. People worked on this movie. Give them the the justice that's due on this one. Like, you got to show a little respect. That's why I watch the credits. I like to see who's in there. Every once in a while I recognize names because I watch too many movies. But again, this was Werewolves from 2024. Our little spew on it.
Werewolves of Summer
during Werewolves of Summer.
We're not kicking this werewolf movie out of the dune buggy on the way to the beach at midnight.
No. I will. We're going to bring back something that we previously did in our previous seasons, seeing as we don't have openers. Each of us are going to throw out a thank you to somebody out there just to end Werewolves of Summer, because we don't have openers because Jason Michael is no longer with us. And by no longer with us, I mean at camp. So I personally would like to... I'd like to throw out a thank you. I'm probably going to steal yours, but I want to throw out a thank you to Selena. You have been just kicking ass and listening and suffering along with us up until now. I hope you watch Werewolves, because I think you're going to have a fucking ball with this one. I will be posting my openers every week just on our Instagram and Facebook, so you'll know what I've been watching, what I've been listening to. I will make some small little posts, probably in the story, of any things that I find that are creeping it real worthy. But also, if Selena's up to it, I'll probably be posting some of her thoughts on Werewolves of Summer, so that we are still kind of keeping some form of what we're doing, even though, we're leading up to season break coming up in a month. So, Jason Michael,
sir,
who would you like to thank?
Well, I would like to thank you, because this was, in one way, shape, or form, this was your idea, drop of the hat, of just, hey, we finally did Wolfman. Let's do werewolf movies for the rest of the month. And, dude, there's more werewolf movies than I fucking knew. But also, at the same point, thank you for introducing me to not only, a different eye in some werewolf movies, but especially next week's movie, because we're not going to talk about it yet. Rob is shaking with excitement, but I want to thank you, because this has been a tremendous journey so far, and I can't wait for you all to join us on next week's episode, and the last episode of Werewolves of Summer. Rob, what is it going to be?
It's my favorite werewolf movie of all time. It is the fucking greatest. I love this movie so much. We will be talking about 2002's Dog Soldiers. I fucking love this movie so goddamn much, and I cannot wait to hear how Jason Michael felt about his first watch of one of my all-time favorite fucking werewolf movies.
I will say, every time you've told me about Dog Soldiers, my brain just reads it as Small Soldiers from 1995, which is
also a great movie.
It's a fantastic movie. I fucking love that movie. Oh, we should talk We're not talking Small Soldiers yet.
Oh, we should do Small Soldiers, though, on Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, Jason Michael,
sir,
why don't you tell the suckers how they can where they can find us on Patreon.
Well, if you go into the little Patreon and search Spoiler Sleepover Podcast, that's right, patreon.com/Spoiler Sleepover Podcast on June 4th. That's right, June 4th, we dropped our first episode up on the Patreon. So go check it out. Go give it a listen. Of course, we do have a little paywall for it. Measly $5. You will get any and all of the content that we put out. There may be some fun stuff coming up with visuals, maybe some video game stuff coming up soon. But if you enjoy what you have here, then please go consider following us on Patreon. And we've talked about it plenty of times before. All of the proceeds from Patreon will be going directly back into the show. It's not going to us. It's going to making sure this show is functional for all of you suckers out there. And if you join the Patreon, you'll get a brand new title. You're not just the suckers to us, but you got to go to Patreon to find that out.
Yeah, you do. We ain't telling you here.
Secrets.
And, we've got some other things in the work, so just joining Patreon isn't just the episodes. We've got some other things in the works that the Patreon subscribers will have some special things. That's all I'm going to say, because I'm not giving anything away. But with that all being said, thank you, suckers. Thank you, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends. We love you all very much. Stay tuned for next week for the final week of Werewolves of Summer. And until then,
sleep tight, suckers. Oh, Frank Grillo's not wearing a shirt again. Oh.
Hunky daddy.
Ooh.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Spoiler Sleepover, but the fun won't stop there. Go follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, and if you have any episode ideas, please send them our way at spoilersleepover@gmail.com. That'd be really fantastic of you. So, until next week, sleep tight, suckers!
Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Gore Clown Shop.
Do you love all things horror? Books? Movies? Podcasts? Of course you do. Well, come on down to goreclown.com.
Original artwork by an indie horror fan for indie horror fans.
Use code SLEEPOVER at checkout to save 15% on your whole purchase.
Oh, and did we mention? Gore Clown is the only place to get official Spoiler Sleepover merch.
So don't forget to use Sleepover to save 15%.
Stay indie, suckers.